Good day, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Youth Forum, which is a program of NTA Zaria that discusses issues that concern our youth in Nigeria. Our topic of discussion today, we are going to be looking at the challenges confronting Nigerian youths in pursuing a career in law. I am Umar Ahmad Mus'ab by name from NTA Zaria, and our guest for today is a leader par excellence, a one-time student leader in various capacities, and a one-time youth leader also in various capacities, and also currently the senior legislative aide on student matters to the Honorable Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, and this is no other person but Barrister Muhammad Bukhari Adam, popularly known as Comrade Tambaya. Sir, you are highly welcome to this program.
Thank you very much.
Before we go directly into the program, I would like to give you the floor to briefly introduce yourself again to the viewers.
It's my pleasure to be invited to this very important program. And as rightly introduced by the presenter, my name is Barrister Muhammad Bukhari Adam, popularly known as Comrade Tambaya in the field of Aluta. I am the former president of Zaria Local Government Student Association, former coordinator of Coalition of Northern Groups, Kaduna State Chapter, former president, national president of National Association of Kaduna State Law Students, the current legal advisor of National Youth Council of Nigeria, Zaria branch, and also the senior legislative aide to the Honorable Speaker on Student Matters. To mention, but just a few.
Thank you very much. As I said earlier, he is someone of multiple capacities. He has served in many capacities and also continues serving in different capacities currently. So going directly to the topic of discussion, sir, as I said earlier, which we are going to be discussing on the challenges that confront Nigerian youths in pursuing a career in law profession. So before we go directly into the challenges and the solutions, sir, can you briefly tell us what inspired you to study law as a profession?
Actually, what inspired me to study law is that I have this passion of seeing that justice is served to the people, to the masses, to anyone who is due to it, irrespective of his class, whether he is poor, whether he is disabled, whether he is rich, whatever his class is.
Irrespective of the financial status of
that particular person, I just want to see that justice is served to someone who is entitled to it. That is what inspired me to venture into law profession. But let me tell you a story that during my childhood, up to the time I finished my secondary school, my passion and interest is to study mass communication, so that I will one day become a journalist like you, inviting people, interviewing them, and so on and so forth. But destiny have it that I am going to study law. So that is it. But this is the passion that inspired me to study law.
Of course, it is really an inspiration because to fight for other people's justice is something very important which we really needed in our society.
That's true.
Sir, going back to the challenges, sir, what are the challenges that our youth faces in pursuing studying law, most especially at the university level? I know there are different categories. One has to pass through university first before going to the law school. So what are the challenges that the youth faces at the school level, that is at the university level?
As you rightly say, that the challenges are two. The first one is during your studies at university, and the second one is during your studies, that 1 year stay at the law school.
Exactly.
So to start with the university, the challenges are just too much. You must tighten your belt, you must be perseverant, you must be consistent for you to be able to meet up and to make sure that you graduate from the university at the first place. Let me start from the beginning. You know, for someone to be admitted to study law,
it's a big challenge.
Because
exactly.
the course is just competitive.
Highly competitive.
Though we have a law as a faculty in the university, but we do have just a single class. Okay.
So even the civil and Sharia law, they do lectures together.
That is the misconception majority of those aspiring to be lawyers are having. Exactly. Because someone might, for instance, he is just an Arabic-oriented student. He is just hearing that this is Sharia law. He will think that Sharia law is being taught in English. In Arabic. He will say, let me come to Sharia law. Unknown to him that we are having a single class. Both the Sharia and civil students are having the same class. Only that there are courses that we will be taking. Okay. If you are a Sharia student, that civil law student will not be taking that course. That is the only difference. But you share same class, you do your exams together and everything. So even in our class, we encountered that problem. There are a lot of students that are Arabic oriented. They are just hearing that this is Sharia law. They thought that the Sharia law will be taught in Arabic.
In Arabic, okay.
They just sought for an admission to study it, and at the end of the day, they couldn't catch up. They have to give up. So going back to our discussion, the topic of discussion, the question you asked me, you know, the course law is very competitive.
Highly competitive.
For you to get the admission is not simple. There are criteria you need to meet for you to be considered for admission. Take for example, Ahmad Bello University, the Faculty of Law, Ahmad Bello University, where I graduated from. You will not be considered for admission unless if you score at least 200.
200, that is in JAM.
That is in JAM. And even if you score 200, the admission is not guaranteed.
And I know in ABU Zaria, after the JAM, you even have to write for
You need to come back and write for student. And there also you must score more than 200 for you to be considered.
Your aggregate should be more than 200 for you to be considered for admission.
Even if you score 200 and above, the admission is not guaranteed. There are other criteria they will consider. For example, it is known to everyone, the catchment area, based on merit, the state you come from, whether that particular state is less privileged in terms of education and what have you. So they consider all these things. So after you get the admission, you have this challenge of adapting to the environment. The rigorous teachings, the lectures, and what are the intimidation by the
law student faces special intimidation.
So much intimidation. Right? Because, as for example, there are students that if you come from secondary school, the expectation is that, if you come through JAM, that is through JAM, not DE. The expectation is that you are just coming from secondary school. So you are not used to bulky materials, too much lectures. For example, we start lectures by 7:30, and we finish by 6. So you can see that the lectures has consumed virtually the whole of your day. So even you need to adapt to this kind of reading, the kind of lecture, and so on and so forth. That is after you get the admission. So even the environment, this is a university, you are used to secondary school life. You see, and you know ABU Zaria is a mini Nigeria.
Exactly.
So you maybe you have never have a contact with someone from the southern part of the country.
Yeah.
There you will meet someone from Akwa Ibom, someone from Oshun. So,
Different part of the country.
Different part, and their culture and way of life is not the same as
different
your own.
from where
So
you
need
from.
to know how you can relate and interact with them. That one is also a challenge.
Okay.
The bulky materials, the readings, and so on and so forth. And once you didn't start with a good result, it is probably that you may not graduate.
Wow.
So you need to, once you are in 100 level, you need to touch your best, make sure you start with a good result, because that will ensure a good ending or a good graduation for you. So that is it, so to say.
That's very interesting, Barrister Muhammad Bukhari Adam. So, sir, after that, I know after graduating from the university, the next thing is going to the law school. What are the challenges faced by students going to law school?
You see, as I highlighted that getting admission to study law at the university level is not easy. But getting admission to law school is even more difficult than getting...
Okay, it's more difficult than getting admission
to law school, because the system is, as an individual, as a graduate of law, from a university, you cannot just approach law school and seek for admission.
Oh, as a student that graduated with a bachelor, what do you call it? LLB.
LLB, that's LLB. Even
yes, you cannot go to the...
Yes. You cannot just approach Council of Legal Education and be seeking for admission. That is impossible.
So you cannot apply for the admission yourself individually?
You cannot.
Okay.
The procedure is you are going to apply to your school. It means that it is your university that will forward your name as someone who is qualified to be admitted to the Nigerian law school. Yeah. That is it. And each and every university has its quota. That is the number of
the total number of expected students that are sent to the law school.
That's it. For example, ABU is the university with the largest quota. It has 280.
I think maybe it is because they have the largest population of students.
No, it's not only that. You know, ABU, the Faculty of Law, ABU Zaria is the largest, as you said, and the faculty has graduated the finest and most brilliant sons, justices of the Supreme Court, justices of the Court of Appeal, judges of the High Court, chief judges of various states of Nigeria. Right. So it has that history. Right. So that is why the Faculty of Law, Ahmad NTA Zaria is the university with the highest quota. All right. So that's it. We have 280. 280. So that's
you have to be lucky to be part of that 280.
That's 280.
If you are from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria before going to the law school.
And there is this issue of backlog.
Okay.
Maybe I graduated this last year, but at the time of my graduation, I wasn't that financially buoyant. I cannot sponsor myself to law school. Therefore, I have to wait until when I am financially stable.
That is the next aspect that I want us to discuss. You know, you see most law students, they have finished their LLB and everything, but they face a lot of challenges, financial challenges of going to the law school, which sometimes even lead to some of the students to even give up, not going to the law school.
Many potential graduates in law gave up their dream of becoming potential and fine lawyers as a result of their financial instability, because they cannot sponsor themselves to the law school. And this is very worrisome and unfortunate. So let me not jump into the question, because you say it is the next question. I don't want to comment much on that. Going back to the question of admission to the Nigerian law school and the challenges there, as I said earlier, the challenges are even enormous and more difficult than that of the university. You know, for you to get the admission, as I highlighted earlier, you need the recommendation of your school, of your university, that you satisfy all the requirements for you to be admitted there. And after you got the admission, the fees there, the school fees are just too exorbitant. As of last year, I know that the central registration is 500,000 naira. Just the central registration 500,000
naira.
Apart from the application fee, the upkeep, the bulky materials that you are going to buy.
Oh, you have to buy bulky materials.
There are bulky books, bulky materials that you must
but
pass.
For the upkeep,
for
the benefit of those that are viewing us, how much do you think can be enough for someone for his upkeep in the Nigerian law school?
For your upkeep, you need at least 1.5.
1.5 million?
Yeah, for your upkeep. Just for
upkeep.
For the upkeep. Because there we don't cook.
Okay.
You cannot cook in law school. Right. It is not allowed for you to be seen with electrical appliances. It's not allowed there.
Okay, you have to be buying food there.
Yeah, if you are caught having such materials, we are going to be served with query. Wow. So it's not allowed. Even the water you are going to take baths with, you must buy from the women in the market. Wow. So you need, everything there is money. Okay. Therefore, for the upkeep, you need at least 1.5 million. Talk less of the school fees, talk less of the books and materials that you will be writing. And apart that, as you are struggling with the financial issues, you are also confronted with the academic issues.
Academic challenges.
You start lectures by 7:30 and you finish by 4. And there in law school, in law school you will learn the procedural aspect of the law. Okay. In the university you will learn the substantive aspect of the law, what the law says, just the raw laws. Okay. For example, criminal law is saying this and that, whoever kills someone this is who intentionally committed murder. That is in the southern part of the country. We call it murder. Okay. And so it's just the raw laws.
Just like the theoretical aspect it's learned in the school.
That's what you learn
in the university. Okay.
As you move to the law school, they are going to teach you how to apply.
Okay. The practical aspect
of the law. Take for example, a case is brought to you that Mr. A killed Mr. B. Okay. So your law school will teach you how you can prepare the charges, how you can approach the court, prepare the charges, and make sure that the correct procedures are followed, right from the time the accused will take his plea up to conviction. Okay. So that is what you are going to learn there. And there you will learn 5 courses.
Okay. At the law school? Just 5 courses for 1 year?
For 1 year.
All right.
But that 5 courses is not easy. Okay. It is only the grace of God that will see you through law school.
But how many exams do you write? Do you write different exams, or you just write final exam at the end for the 5 courses?
We write final exams at the end of the program. Okay. And you write 6 courses. Though 6 exams, 6 papers. Okay. Though the courses are 5, but when you are writing your exams, you write 6. The number 1 paper you will write is MCQ. That is multiple choice questions. Okay. It is 100 questions, full of scenarios. Okay. You know, in the nature of law questions is scenario. They will create a scenario that Mr. A kills Mr. B. Which court are you going to approach? Okay. Prepare the charges. Arrange the question. So that is how they frame their questions. Right. So you take 6 exams. The number 1 is MCQ. It is 100 questions, and you are expected to answer those 100 questions in 1 hour.
In 1 hour.
And the questions are just full of scenarios. Wow. For you to just read the scenarios and understand them very well, you need at least 20 minutes. All right. You are left with
40 minutes to answer the rest of the questions.
So even if you allocate one minute for each
to the 100 questions,
the time will not be enough for you
because
to answer
1 hour is just 60 minutes.
It's just 60 minutes. That is it. So you just need to pray, and you should be practicing how to answer them since from your day, from day 1. That's it. So you do that exams. Then the second one is criminal litigation. Okay. The other one is civil litigation. Okay. The other one is property law and conveyancing. Okay. We have corporate law. All the commercial transactions and so on and so forth falls under corporate law. Okay. Then the professional ethics. Okay. Because as a lawyer,
you
must be upholding
the rules and regulation governing
governing that particular profession. Oh. Take for example what RPC says. That is rules of professional conduct. It has a provision that even no matter how rich you are, you cannot a lawyer is, you cannot invite a lawyer to your house.
Okay.
It is abomination for a lawyer to see his client in his house.
Okay.
It's
the client has to come to the office.
Client, even if, for example, I'm just 1 year for school. If Dangote want to bring a case to me, he must come to my office. I will not go to his house.
But I think most of the lawyers are compromising this rule.
You see, the lawyers are contending that the provisions of RPC has to be revisited because the provisions there are just archaic. They are not in alliance or in conformity with the current reality.
Okay.
That is what they are arguing.
All right, sir. Now, before we move to the next question of discussion, sir, how many law schools do we have in Nigeria?
We have 6 law schools because we are having 6 geopolitical zones.
Okay, in each geopolitical zone we have one.
Each geopolitical zone is having one.
Right.
For example, in the North Central is having one in Abuja.
Okay.
The Northwest is having one in Kano. The Northeast is having one in Yola.
Right.
The Southeast is having one in Anambra.
Okay.
In Enugu, sorry.
Enugu.
Then the South is having one in Delta.
Okay.
Then we have the last one, Southwest. That is in
Lagos.
Exactly. So we are having 6.
So looking at these various challenges that you discussed, what do you think government and other stakeholders can do in providing remedy to the above challenges you mentioned? Most especially the financial challenges.
You see, what the government should do is to ensure that it put in place a policy that will take care of the needs and demands of the low school aspirants.
Okay.
Because most of the students or most of those that are aspiring to be lawyers have given up their dreams of becoming one because they cannot be able to sponsor themselves to the law school. And this is very unfortunate and worrisome. Because as you graduate as you become a lawyer, the tendency is that you can be able to rely on your own. You will be self-reliant and you will benefit your society, whether your immediate society or the local government or the state or the nation at large. So this is the expectation. So what the government, take for example in our own case, I am from Kaduna State, but the attitude of Kaduna State is very unfortunate and worrisome towards law school students. Okay. Because I am talking to you now, there is no any comprehensive intervention or scholarship
from the state government. But I had there are some states that the state do sponsor them for the law school. And
of course they are, and they are giving them adequate support.
Okay. But there is no such support in Kaduna State.
There is no such support. I told you during my introduction that I once served as the president of National Association of
Kaduna State Law Students. Exactly.
So then during my time we struggled enough to see that that scheme is brought back. But unfortunately our struggle couldn't see the light of the day when my tenure elapsed. So I have to hand over to our juniors for them to take up and continue with the struggle, and they are still doing their best. But as I am talking to you now, there is not any comprehensive scheme for the aspiring law students, and this is unfortunate and worrisome. So you see, we previously had an executive secretary of Kaduna State Scholarship Board who campaigned. Went to the governor, the former governor, and convinced him that Kaduna State has more than enough lawyers, and as such we don't need more lawyers. And you see, I can't even conceive and understand what the former ES is saying. Because let me give you a scenario. I did my law school in Bagauda campus, that is in Kano.
Okay.
And you know, Kano is a core northern state.
Exactly.
Even there, the number of the law students from the southern part of the country outnumbered our number. We were 1,080 students.
1,080 students completely in Bagauda campus.
In Bagauda. But believe me, Believe you me, I think more than 800 of the students are from the southern parts.
More than 800?
More than 800. That is why when we contested, when there was a contest for the positions of SRC, the North is only left with the position of PRO. Even that PRO is because the position was unopposed. So I can't conceive and understand why the ES made that kind of presentation to the governor. If up to now,
let's just hope and pray maybe the government will hear this and they will listen and they will make provision for that. Because we need more lawyers in our community, because every day more challenges are coming up. So looking at the time factor, going to the last question, sir. As a senior legislative aide currently, what efforts are you making in providing support and scholarship to the aspiring law students in Kaduna State and beyond?
You see, as someone who has first-hand experience of the difficulty and challenges faced by the law school students, I know the kind of predicament they go through. I have tried my possible best to see that even if Kaduna State government will not do anything, I think with the position I am holding now, that is SLA Student Matters, to the Honorable Speaker, I should make an impact.
Okay.
That made me to make commitment and some movement to see that the Honorable Speaker has gave them an intervention. I engage the stakeholders that are very relevant to the campaign. Take, for example, my boss, the Deputy Chief of Staff to the Honorable Speaker, Malik Ilyas Balarabe. I engaged him and he promised the law school student that there is going to be a handsome intervention from the Honorable Speaker. You know, Speaker has this scholarship scheme he gave to students. You know, the problem is that the law school is not a university.
Exactly.
Anyone in law schools is embarking on a vocational training, and so they are not captured. But as a result of the commitment
and your intervention
and my intervention and the zeal and patriotism that Malik Ilyas Balarabe has for education, he has taken up this important issue and make sure that
the aspiring law students are captured.
Law school students are captured
in the scholarship scheme.
Scholarship scheme of the Honorable Speaker, and they are going to be given, inshallah, handsome amount of money.
That is very important.
Then also, I will not finish this interview unless I recognize the effort of my personal and permanent, personal and pensionable boss. That is that is Marlon Ismail Yesko. Without his support, without his encouragement and mentorship,
you guys will not have achieved this.
I will not achieve all the milestones I am achieving as of now. He is my personal boss and he has been my guidance. All that I am achieving, all the important initiatives I am bringing up under my capacity as SLA Student Matters, he is the one putting me through as to how to do it. So I must acknowledge this, and I thank him very much for the support and mentorship.
Thank you very much, Barrister Muhammad Bukhari Adam. We pray may Almighty Allah reward them all abundantly. And with this, we have come to the end of Youth Forum for today. We meet next week for another episode. Umar Ahmad NTA Zaria.